before he ever became WWE champion or WWF champion back in the day, it was Shawn Michaels' goal to go out and steal the show every single time he was on the card. And right now, we're starting to see the same kind of deal with Seth Rollins. Now, I know Seth Rollins has won the title before, but ever since that gauntlet match on Raw, Seth Rollins has really taken his game up to another level, and he did it again tonight with The Miz in a classic match. The show stopper, the show stealer, Seth Rollins. Unbelievable match between he and The Miz tonight, and credit to The Miz as well, because he's another one, man, that has really perfected his craft the last 2 or 3 years or so. You know, he's a guy that's always been great on the mic, as you guys know, but has really refined his in-ring skills. And Seth Rollins, man, just the things that they did in this match, freaking awesome. So this is my Backlash review, and I'm going to start out with Seth Rollins and The Miz, because that's really how good this match really was. They were fantastic. And, you know, we came into this pay-per-view kind of knowing that Seth Rollins was going to win, because The Miz is now on Smackdown, and, you know, Seth Rollins is on Raw. You're not going to have the Intercontinental title being brought to SmackDown when you already have the U.S. title there. So the WWE really held out that intrigue in this match, because Seth Rollins kicked out at 2 skull-crushing finales. Now, that is something about WWE that I haven't liked lately. Like, that people are just kicking out of finishers just to kick out of finishers, and we saw it in this match where Seth Rollins kicked out of 2 skull-crushing finales, and the way that they got into these skull-crushing finales was awesome. So the one was, I believe, when Rollins rolled through, right, and Miz went and countered into a skull-crushing finale, and the other one was, what was the other one? Man, I wish I took notes on this one. Yeah, I forget, but this match, just great back and forth action, a lot of counters in this match as well, and Seth Rollins really selling the knee. That's what it was. That's what it was. So he went for that suplex Falcon Arrow combo, and the Miz countered it into a skull-crushing finale, and you know, that was a 2 count, and series of just a lot of counters and a lot of pinning combinations. And that's what kind of saw the finish, where you had a bunch of counters and roll-ups, and then that led to Rollins hitting the stomp. It's not the curb stomp anymore, just simply the stomp for the 3 count. So amazing match to start off the show. And I'm going to say, man, like, this surprised me. You know, I know The Miz got better. I know Seth Rollins going out having pretty much 4-star matches each and every time he goes into the ring. But, yeah, this was awesome. And I suggest everybody to go and watch this match if you have not. So there's that. All right, so I started out with that match because that's how good that match really was. So now let's kind of go backward. All right, so I'm going to start with the AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura match, obviously for the WWE title. And, you know, when I saw them not go on last, you kind of figured that there was going to be a screwy finish, because they always kind of do that, right? You're not going to close the show with a no contest. So they went on 6, which was 2 matches prior to the main event. Well, 1 match prior to the main event, because you had the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens against Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman in that stupid match. We'll get into that later. But this Styles and Nakamura match, I'll tell you what, man, they were bringing the strong style to the WWE, because there was a lot of stiff shots in this match. I remember this, the one, I guess, like the running phenomenal forearm that AJ Styles does right in the back of Nakamura's head. A lot of stiff knee strikes by Nakamura to AJ Styles. I thought this match was a lot better than the one at WrestleMania. But at the end of it, we see the low blows come into play. So you had storytelling on that part. So you first had Nakamura hit Styles with a low blow, and then Nakamura got a low blow of his own from AJ. And then the ending saw both get kicked straight into the balls. So 10 count. Neither wrestler was able to get up, and you had a no contest for the WWE title. So we're going to see this match again. And, you know, I'm still waiting for them to go all out, kind of like they did at Wrestle Kingdom when they had that, you know, awesome match a couple years ago in New Japan. But this one was good. I liked it. The crowd was kind of not into it until the end. The crowd was kind of bored until you had the kick in the balls and the forearms to the balls. But there was an awesome spot too where Nakamura went for his Kinshasa, and AJ just threw a chair right into his face, and that chair went back and shot him in the face too. So AJ Styles was bleeding from that. But this was good stuff. This was better than WrestleMania, and hopefully when we see another match between these two, you know, they get to go and just go balls to the wall. All right, I guess we'll get to this Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe match. So before the bell rang, Samoa Joe hit a Urinagi on Reigns to the table, and then he went and flung him to the table and, you know, through the chairs, you know, that thing that they always do. And then when they finally start the match, it's all Joe for like the first 10 minutes because we see nothing but rest holds. Nothing but rest holds, and it was kind of boring the first 10 minutes. And then it finally kind of got going, and you know it was inevitable that Reigns was going to win this match, and he did. So the finish kind of saw a Samoa Joe go for a muscle buster. Roman leapt over top of him, spun through, hit the spear. He got the win, and I'm waiting for the heel turn of Roman. It's got to be coming soon. I mean they didn't have him beat Brock at Mania. He didn't win at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Let's get him going heel here. All right. If you want the natural feel of him eventually becoming a baby face, well, maybe you turn him heel first, and then you naturally just have him go baby face a couple years from now. I mean, we saw that happen with The Rock. The Rock is a great example. When he came in, he was Rocky Maivia, Rocky sucks, all that shit. And then he turned heel with the Nation of Domination. His mic skills were amazing. And then he became a huge star after that. So I'm not saying that Roman Reigns is going to become a star because obviously he doesn't have an ounce of the charisma that The Rock has. But I want to see Roman as a heel. And I've been waiting for it. I thought, you know, in NXT, when he was in NXT, he was more naturally a heel than he is a face, you know, playing this kind of rich character. And I thought he was a lot better, kind of, you know, being that heel type. He kind of has the persona to play it. I don't think he has the persona to be a babyface, and especially not being the top guy in the company. The other thing, well, this Lashley and Strowman match was just like, ugh. So you had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn basically fight each other in this one, where Sami was throwing Kevin in the ring, and then Kevin was throwing Sami in the ring, throwing these guys each other into the wolves, and that led to Lashley hitting that extended suplex that he does, and that was the match. You know, honestly, I thought Lashley was going to go heel in this match. I thought he was going to turn on Strowman because ever since Lashley has come into the company again, man, he's been forgettable. I mean, does anyone give a shit about Bobby Lashley right now? He was apparently he was good in TNA. I don't watch TNA, it's Impact Wrestling now. I don't watch a lot of that. I used to watch it, and then the product got real bad, and I really haven't tuned in the last probably year, 2, 3 years, something like that. So apparently Bobby Lashley's been really good down there, but I'm just not gravitating towards him right now in the WWE again. I don't care. He's boring as hell. I thought he was going to go heel tonight, and that didn't happen. So Strowman and Lashley, they win this match. We've been seeing Lashley in nothing but 6-man tags ever since he's come back. So we'll see what they do with him moving forward. All right, so now I'll just kind of go through the rest of the matches. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. Yeah, this one. Well, the ending was when Alexa was caught by Nia. She attempted a twisted Bliss and turned that into a Samoa drop. And then after the match, you had this forced bully speech, which just got shit on by the crowd. I'm not buying that, and I didn't. This match was whatever to me. Next match was Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton for the U.S. title. Really no build up for this. You just kind of had these guys just kind of thrown together into a match, and really wasn't that great of a match either. So it went like 10 minutes. Jeff Hardy basically just hits a twist of fate. He hits a swanton, and that was it. Not much countering in this one. Not much going on in this one. Just a basic wrestling match. And, I remember when they went at it at a Royal Rumble. I don't remember what year it was, like 2008 or 2009 or 2010, something like that. And that was a really good match. But this one tonight, I just wasn't feeling it. Jeff Hardy, it seems like he's struggling with that whisper in the wind, man. It just, as the time goes by, it seems like he's having more and more trouble with that. It would help if a guy like Jinder Mahal would know how to sell it, though. If you guys know what I'm talking about. But Randy Orton, man, he's another guy. Like, he needs to be a heel. I haven't cared about Randy Orton for like a year now, or 2 years. Like, wow, he's Randy Borton, and he's just not a natural face. He's a heel. He needs to be a heel, and I just haven't cared about Randy at all, and he just kind of goes through the motions in his matches. He's very nonchalant, and he's a good wrestler, and he can put on a good match when he wants to, but as a face, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. So Daniel Bryan's first one-on-one match is against Big Cass. And it went like 5-7 minutes. Not much to it. So the ending was Cass misses this big boot. Bryan hits a roundhouse kick. And he puts the yes lock on Big Cass, who immediately taps out. And, to get to that yes lock, Bryan was hitting him with some stiff, the right across his face, some forearms. And, it was a good way to get him into the yes lock. So they made it look believable, considering, Big Cass, he's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. So he put him down into the yes lock, and that was that. Taps out immediately, and there you go. Carmella versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title. This was whatever. So Charlotte sells her knee throughout the match, and it ends when she goes for a moonsault. Her knee buckled, and Carmella rolled her up for the pin. So Carmella wins this thing. It's hard to buy Carmella as champion, and the reason why I don't like what they did is, like, you just had Charlotte beat Asuka, the aura of Asuka, and you had her lose. You lost that undefeated streak. I don't really care about the undefeated streak as much as maybe other people do, but because I think Asuka's good enough on her own that she doesn't need it. But it doesn't really make Asuka look good if you have Carmella not only cashing in the Money in the Bank, but then beating her at Backlash like this in like a 10-minute match. I don't know. Just not buying. I don't know. Maybe I just don't like Carmella. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. All right, so that's pretty much my review of Backlash. Since this is the first time I've done this review with my Hangouts, let me go see if I can pull up the questions, pull up the comments. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if anybody wants to talk wrestling with me. Let's see. Hold up 1 second. Computer being a little slow. But man, Seth Rollins, like, going back to him, dude. He's been incredible. There was a count out last week of the greatest Royal Rumble between those two guys. I was really upset with how they done Strowman. Did he go heel? A lot of heel tactics. Yeah, I think they're gonna keep Strowman babyface. I was waiting, like I was saying in the show, I was waiting for Lashley to go heel, and didn't happen. Randy Orton needs to retire or leave for a few years. He's nothing but the RKO. Cass looked so weak in the match, dude. He did. He did look weak. It's that, like, they build him up for this match. It was weird to have Daniel Bryan face Big Cass out of all people, and then you had Cass go into this match, his first match in like a year since he tore his ACL, and then he loses in 7 minutes and he taps out right away. Just like, what? Charlotte looked like she didn't even care. Sore loser when she's losing, apparently. Yeah. Nakamura Styles was a terrible finish, probably worse than JBL versus Eddie Guerrero. It's terrible because, like, are we really buying that both guys can't get up after a kick to the balls? After like all the things that they do to each other, all the shots that they're taking, the stiff shots, the forearms, the knees, and you can't get up in a 10 count after a kick to the balls. Yeah, I'm with you there. It's kind of stupid. I thought the match was good until that. So I liked the match, but I hated the finish. If it wasn't for the, like, I would have rated the match higher if it wasn't for that finish. So, all right, not too many people in the wrestling chat. So we got just two guys. We got Smur and Rad Movie Guy. The double kick to the nuts had me rolling. It was funny, and then it wasn't funny when neither of them could get up from it. Like, what the hell is that about? Stupid, man. Needed more weapons. Yeah, I remember the crowd was chanting, "We want tables," and then they never brought a table into the ring. You know, that's one of those things. Like, why even make it a no disqualification match if you're not even going to get weapons involved? I would have just rather have them have a straight wrestling match. I understand why the stipulation was put in. It's because of what happened at the Greatest Royal Rumble, but yeah. I know it's fake, dude. Did you come in here to troll just to say the WWE's fake? Come on, man. I know it's fake. Nakamura versus Styles at Greatest Royal Rumble was amazing. Yeah, I like that match too. The thing that I'll have to do is I'll have to go back and watch the WrestleMania match again. I mean, I was bored watching it, but it was also like the 4th hour into the show, and like the crowd was so dead. Because the crowd can really make a match, and the crowd was so dead for that match that, you know, it's one of those things. Roman can't even lose if he's beaten severely before the match. Shaking my head. I thought the way that they were going to go is I thought Joe was going to win, and then Reigns was going to turn heel like shortly thereafter. Because normally when they do like a switch between a heel or you know, if they turn a guy babyface, the wrestler will lose a couple times because it's like kind of forgotten that they would lose after the turn is made. But obviously that's not happening right now, I guess. I'm waiting for the Reigns heel turn. Maybe it's never coming. Maybe this is like the Cena thing all over again. We keep waiting for the turn, but I do think there's like an inevitability with Reigns where I didn't really feel that with Cena, you know. The WrestleMania match wasn't very good. Probably told to hold off. It wasn't good. Like, watching it live, it didn't seem like it was good, but I am going to watch it back. I'm just curious. Like the match tonight was so much better than the Mania match. Like, the shots were stiffer, and I thought there was some better counters. I just thought it was a lot better. So, Reigns needs a submission move or a third special move. Did I hear what happened to Batista in WWE? I didn't read into it too much, but I heard a rumor that Batista like wanted to come back or something, and then the WWE was like interested, but then they never called him. I'll have to read more into that though. I heard like something along those lines. So Roman will never turn heel. Vince likes him too much. Yeah, I get that, but it's like reaching a point where it's like, is Vince McMahon really as stubborn as Chip Kelly to continually still trot him out there, to continually still think that he can get him over with the crowd? It's just not working. It's just not working, and it's almost like it's at this point the easiest way to turn him. The easiest way to make him the top face of the company is by turning him heel first and then making him a face. So make him go heel for like a year or two, and then maybe the crowd will buy him. Because if they continue to shove him down our throats, and he's going to remain a face for the foreseeable future, it's never going to get over. So I was glad that Roman did more than 3 moves in this match. Yeah. All right. Is there anybody else that wants to chime in? I just got 2 guys in this chat. Smur and Rad Movie Guy. I know Rad Movie Guy's a watcher of the Bitter Birds. I like that you're a wrestling fan. Have I seen the WWE for the last year? Yes. I've been watching wrestling I started watching wrestling when I was like 6, 7 years old. That was back in 1993. 1993. So I got brought into wrestling at a pretty bad time. That was back during the Lex Express years, if you remember that. What up, Philly? Who should Joe face next? Styles. Ooh. Man, it looks like they're teasing that. I would hold that off until SummerSlam. But, that's just me. Because that's such a awesome match. I mean, obviously they had their, time during TNA where Joe and Styles was just amazing. I was upset that Elias is being jobbed out. He's a great character. You could see it tonight, man. I mean, he's out there doing his thing, and he's getting so much heat as a heel, and he's awesome. It's like such an old school gimmick, and that's why it's getting over. Such an old school gimmick, just like the cheap shots that he takes. Yeah. All right. I got nothing else. I wish I remembered the Rollins and Miz match more, because there were so many awesome counters. I just don't remember off the top of my head. That was my response to if Vince is too stubborn to change. You've seen the last year. Yeah, but now it's reaching a point of ridiculousness that, maybe Vince is finally starting to realize that it's not working, because they had Brock win at WrestleMania, and everyone thought coming in that it was Reigns that was going to lose. I just think it's, to be honest with you, they have driven Reigns so far down our throats that we are not going to take him seriously unless he turns heel first. Maybe he can naturally become a face that way. I think that's like the quicker route. I mean, because if you keep shoving him and keep having him win and keep making him look like Superman, nobody gives a shit. Top rope suplex in the skull crush. Yeah. I think that's like the one counter I remembered that I talked about in the recap. I forget how they got into the first skull crush. How they get into the first one. The way that they got into both of them was awesome. I mean, that was a great match. The Miz is becoming so underrated now. It's crazy. Who would have thought that the Miz would ever become such a great wrestler? He's always had the mic skills, obviously, but now he can bring it in the ring too. Like WrestleMania, they had that triple threat between Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and the Miz. Nobody wanted the Miz in the match. I had a dream the 76ers came back and won the series, but then I woke up back and came back to reality. Something about Rollins' leg. Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch that match again. By the way, yo, Philly, I was producing a show on Fox Sports Radio today, and we had Mark Jackson call in. Mark Jackson, obviously of NBC Sports Philadelphia, and he thinks that the Sixers have the talent to shock the world. That's what he said, not me. Like kick to the leg or something. Yeah. Miz Mike skills are probably the best in WWE. Yep. Mark on crack. Joe can't face a champion after he just lost and finished to Styles and Nakamura. Yeah, that's why I would wait till SummerSlam. I think at SummerSlam, that's when you do Joe and Styles. Although I'm not gonna lie, I want to see Nakamura as champ. You know, I like his heel gimmick. I don't know if they're gonna do that though. All right, I am gonna hop out of here this time. So yeah, we found out today that Mark Jackson is on crack. Seth Rollins is, you know, they say that that Kenny Omega and AJ Styles are the two best wrestlers in the world. Seth Rollins is right up there. Who is next for Joe? A mid-carder. Yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe they have Joe win the U.S. title against Hardy, and you have Joe be the U.S. champ for a little bit. I don't know. I'm just like throwing something out there. Do you go Joe and Bryan already? But like, are you really going to have Joe and Bryan? Because if you want to get Joe and Styles at SummerSlam, are you really going to have Joe beat Bryan? I think Jeff Hardy might be next for him. We found out how hilarious Double Nut Punch is. Yeah, it's just that I'm just throwing something out there. All right. Let me end this bad boy. It's Adrian Fedq. This is my Backlash review, my newly Google Hangouts version of a wrestling review, pay-per-view review. I've done these in the past, but I just got this back a couple weeks ago with this Hangout. So awesome to have it back. And I guess it was an okay show tonight. I mean, besides Seth Rollins and The Miz, was it really that memorable? I like the Nakamura Styles match, but I just hated the finish. But other than that, I mean, I guess it was kind of a forgettable show. Like Reigns and Joe, Reigns won. Who gives a shit? Whatever. And the rest of the card kind of sucked. But there it is. I'm Adrian Fedq. I'm out of here. Take care. See ya.